We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the NHA YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a great week wherever you may be, and of course, however you may be listening. The Iowa Hawkeyes picked up a huge victory today, defeating the Ohio State Bucks on the road. This was huge. There's no other way to put it. The Iowa Hawkeyes knew what they needed to do, and they went on the road and did exactly that. Here we can see the 75-62 score. And, listen, the bottom line is if I could choose between the Michigan game a couple of nights ago and this game on who I would rather the Hawkeyes beat, it would definitely be Ohio State. But I do have to say that considering how winnable the Michigan game was, and I don't want to poo-poo this win because this win is awesome, it's excellent, but considering just how winnable that game was, man, Iowa could easily be on what would be like a 6 or 7 game win streak had they defeated Michigan, and they would likely be in the top 20 had they beaten both. They might even be in the top 25 after beating Ohio State on the road. Guys, this win is significant for many reasons, which we will get into, and I will give a little summary of the game. But before we do that, I want to ask you to smash that subscribe button because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. I do want to say that I am, and I've said this so many times before, I am so grateful for everyone who has contributed to this channel through their subscriptions, their comments, their participation. In my opinion, there's nothing better than the Iowa Hawkeye fan base. A lot of times the Iowa fan base kind of gets ridiculed, but I think it's the best fan base in the country, and I will stand by you guys till the day I'm done doing this. And I am so humbled by the success of this channel. I always say this, it's not because of me, it's because of you guys. You guys are the ones that make this happen, and I just want to say thank you for that. But if you don't feel like subscribing, like, comment, share, you know the drill. And without further ado, let's get into this. Well, Iowa kind of started off slow against Ohio State. Keegan Murray was really the only one having anything going in the first, I would say, 10 minutes of the game. Iowa was down by 10 points early. Okay. And I need to say that because it was indeed early. Which makes their 13-point victory all the more impressive because, again, if you hadn't watched the game and you were told that Iowa was down by 10 at some point in this game, and then you look at this, you'd be shocked, and rightfully so. Ohio State's Malachi Branham had it going on. He was knocking down some shots. Kyle Young was doing his thing for Ohio State, but then Iowa kicked it in to overdrive. By the way, Ohio State, they have some guys that seemingly have been around for years. And I know Iowa has the same thing with Jordan Bohannon, but Kyle Young has seemingly been around forever. And same thing with EJ Liddell, who dropped 15 points. For the Iowa Hawkeyes, like I said, Keegan Murray had 20 points in the first half. He was, early in the game especially, he was the one keeping Iowa in this ball game. If it weren't for him, Iowa would have been down by 15, 20 points easily. So that was big time. He ended up finishing with 24 points. Like I said, he had 20 points in the first half. His brother, Chris, chipped in 11 points. And I hope to the good God upstairs that from here on, that from here on, Fran will play Chris his due amount of minutes. Now, part of the problem is that if you look at this, Patrick McCaffrey played 19 minutes, and unfortunately, Fran seems to kind of have the attitude of an either or, meaning it's either Patrick or it's Chris, but it's rarely both. And so if Chris gets 27 minutes like he did against Ohio State, what's that going to mean for Patrick? And Patrick has shown to himself to be the second best player on this team statistically. I would say that Chris is probably the second best player on this team with the eye test. So we'll see what happens there. In Nolan's perfect world, Keegan, Patrick, and Chris would each play minimum 25 minutes each night. So we'll see what happens there. And as I said, he had 11 points, 8 boards, and 2 assists. Joe Toussaint played 22 minutes. Aaron Eulis played 17 and poured in 7 points, which is not bad. Tony Perkins, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Tony Perkins has been inserted into the starting lineup since, I believe, the Minnesota or Nebraska game. I can't remember which one exactly. And it's kind of, and I also told you guys that, I like Tony Perkins, but outside of a few small differences, Tony, Aaron, and Joe are very similar players, with the exception of, as I said, Joe Toussaint has an uncanny ability to defend the ball. Tony's a good defender too, but Joe is just elite. And Joe Toussaint has the experience. Unfortunately, I think Joe Toussaint was sacrificed on the altar. And recently Tony Perkins, just because he has been inserted into the starting lineup, doesn't mean that he has been playing a lot more minutes, because he really hasn't. I think the most he's played is maybe 20 minutes in the last few games. Usually it's between 10 and 17 minutes. So that will be interesting to monitor as well. Jordan Bohannon had 10 points. That is, anytime J-Bo has about 10 points, Iowa is usually in great shape. So that is that. Philip Rebraca only played 16 minutes, so we'll see. Let's look at the team stats here, and then I will tell you guys what this means for the NCAA tournament. Iowa actually shot worse than Ohio State did for the game, only shooting 42.2% compared to Ohio State, who shot 46.9, pretty much 47%. Iowa also only shot 28.6% from 3. Thankfully, Ohio State was worse than that. And it's funny in this, well, maybe not funny, but interesting. In the modern era of college hoops, the 3-point shot and just basketball in general, the 3-point shot has revolutionized the game. But the truth of the matter is that teams who have an ability to get easy 2-point buckets at and around the rim are always much better off. And because unless you're going to be shooting 35+% from 3, sometimes it is negligible. So you still need to be able to dominate close to the rim, 5-10 feet away with the 2-point buckets, because it's a higher percentage shot. So anyways, free throw percent, Iowa shot 71%, which is big time. I've said many times, as long as Iowa shoots anywhere from 68 to 72%, I'm happy with that. Iowa won the rebounding battle 40-31. They won the assist battle, the 12-7. They had 20 offensive rebounds compared to Ohio State's 12. And they also only had 8 turnovers compared to Ohio State's 14. So those are the team stats for the game here. Now we take a look at the KenPom, and Iowa has climbed all the way up to number 16, and they continue to have one of the best offenses in the country with the 5th best offensive efficiency rating in the country. They improved defensively. They have jumped up a few spots, and it looks like they're number 100 in defensive efficiency. So that is big time. Let's take a look at the rest of Iowa's schedule here, and it's tough. They got Michigan State, which I do think is a winnable game. I believe that game is at home. They have Nebraska, they have Northwestern, winnable games, and then they have Michigan and Illinois to finish the season. And again, all of these, in my opinion, are winnable games. I think Iowa has a real opportunity to finish the season red hot. We'll see what happens. You know, there's the idea of the February slide, February to March February slide, or whatever you want to call it. I've done some digging into that, and there is some evidence to suggest that it is true. So we'll see what happens there. Like I said, I think Iowa has a real chance to improve their NCAA seeding. I think that they could climb, depending on which games they win, and how many games they win to close out the season. I think they can climb as high as a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. And I know you might think I'm crazy for that, but I think it is possible. Iowa is now 2 wins away from a 20-win season, which your boy, Nolan Hawkeye Anthony, told you they were going to be an NCAA tournament team. And I told you they would win 20-plus games this season. When it comes to hoops, you got to trust your boy, Nolan. I have not been wrong regarding Iowa hoops in a very long time, predicting their record. If you guys remember when I used to do Facebook Live, I can't remember what season it was exactly, but it was the season Tyler Cook left, and everybody said, oh, Iowa would be lucky to win 15 games. They'll be lucky to win 15 games. And your boy said, no. They're going to be an NCAA tournament team. They're going to be fine. And they were. So anyways, I don't want to brag too much there, but let's move on to the net rankings. I don't think it's going to be updated yet. The net rankings, usually it takes about a day for the net rankings to kick in. But this is I can save you the expense. This was a quadrant 1 victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes. As I said, if I had to pick between beating Michigan at home and beating Ohio State on the road, I would always pick beating Ohio State on the road. The current rankings here, let's see, looks like it was updated. Yeah, so it has not been updated yet. This is February 18th. This is as of February 18th. So either way, quadrant 1 victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Massive victory. Let's take a look at the net team sheet. And of course, some of the victories Iowa already has can improve, and also it can decrease for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I'm fully aware of that. But definitely a quadrant 1 victory, as you guys can see here. Let me see if I can maximize this a little bit. Right here, quadrant 1 victory, and away. If you beat a team on the road who is ranked 1 to 75 in the net rankings, which Ohio State is ranked 17th. They were ahead of Iowa. If you beat one of those teams in that category, that is a quadrant 1 victory. So it looks as though, let's see, I don't know exactly how many quadrant 1 victory. Oh, here it is. Iowa only has 1 quadrant 1 victory, but listen, it's better than nothing. Iowa has been very good in quadrant 2, but they have struggled to pick up one of these key quadrant 1 victories, and they finally got it. So I'm so pumped about that. Folks, I would say at this point, what does this mean for Iowa? They're in the NCAA tournament. Unless they lose their final, 6 games, I would say they are going to be in the NCAA tournament. Here is their team sheet. 1-6 versus quad 1 teams, 5-2 against quad 2 teams, 4-0 against quad 3, and 8-0 against quad 4. Here are the quad 2 teams that they have played right here. So as of right now, they are safely in the NCAA tournament. And as I said, the only way that they will not make the NCAA tournament is if they lose the remainder of their games. And even if they did that, I think they would still have a shot to make the NCAA tournament. So this is excellent news. I want to give you guys one more look at Iowa's schedule here. And then we will wrap it up and close this out. So here we go. Let's take a look at the Iowa Hawkeyes and pull that up here. So a lot of opportunities left. Quadrant 1 against Michigan State. That's an opportunity for a quad 1 victory. Iowa cannot lose to Nebraska. I'm not sure what Northwestern is ranked. I'm going to have to take a look at that here real quick. Give me a moment. Northwestern is 5-10 in the Big Ten, and they have a 12-12 victory. But Iowa, unfortunately, has struggled against Northwestern. There are teams that Iowa plays really well against. Ohio State is one of them. Michigan, they struggle against. Northwestern, they sometimes struggle against when they should not. You go back to the Jared Uthoff days and Mike Gazelle days. But anyways, Iowa to close out the season will have 1, 2, 3 quad 1 chances for victories, or have a chance to win 3 quadrant 1 games. And as long as they pick up just one of those 3 games, that would be huge, which would give Iowa 2 quad 1 victories. All right, guys. We are going to wrap this up. The Iowa Hawkeyes improved to 18-8 on the season, and they win 75-62 on the road against Ohio State. They are now 8-7 in the Big Ten. They are in great shape. Let's see what they are: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. They are now 8th in the Big Ten. They are in pretty good shape. I feel really good about the Iowa Hawkeyes right now. Hopefully they don't have, knock on wood, a February slide. We will see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to smash the subscribe button because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. At the very least, like, comment, share. You know the drill. I will see you guys next time. Love y'all. Go Hawks. Bye-bye.